our homes in Yafa that once shed laughter and love, and our hope to return one day remains and fuels us in our fight for justice. We extend solidarity to all those resisting colonial occupation and apartheid in Palestine and around the world, fighting for land, culture and self-determination in the face of systemic violence and dispossession. We stand together in solidarity with them today, and we welcome you all to this March for Palestine. So let's hear some noise for the March for Palestine. We are first going to listen to a speech from Sadia Sharif, who's one of the local students at JCU. And then we're going to start our March for Palestine. We're going to walk up the Strand, up to Tobruk Pool. We're going to do a loop there, and we're going to walk back again. And then we'll return to the amphitheatre here. So, just a few housekeeping bits before we hear from Sadia. It's a hot day. Everybody keep yourselves hydrated. We have some water jugs to have some water there. We also have masks and hand sanitizers, so there's lots of illnesses going around. Keep yourselves protected if you need to. Wear sun hats. We've got some sunscreen here, so please feel free to have that. Whilst we're walking, we're going to be led by our marshals and the sign here with the drummers and the chanters. Please do stick behind them, follow their pace. Also, please stay in a line of 4 people max. On the right side, keeping space for bypassers, wheelchairs, prams. Okay, we need to not block the whole road, so let's make sure that we're keeping space on the path. Don't walk on the grass. Lines of 4. Also, just be aware of the children that will be around also. I think that's all the housekeeping for now. If there are any questions, please just look for a marshal in a yellow high-vis vest and ask any questions. And just keep safe, be smart, and let's show our support for Palestine all together. I'd just like to welcome now Sadia Sharif. So she is a JCU student and a human rights activist. She's been brilliant for the campaign in Townsville. She's been really wonderful at getting things done. So please give her a hand, welcome her to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming along today to march in solidarity with the Palestinian people, to show them that they are not alone and that we are fighting alongside them. A question that echoes through me every day is, how has humanity become so numb to the point where people around the world are suffering from the consequences of greed and corruption? How are the international rights and foundations founded for world peace and equality now being used against us? This is a world I could have never fathomed as a child, and what we are witnessing will forever be scarred in history. We are living in such troubling times, where the death of over 60,000 Palestinians can be brushed aside and leave people to feel as though this is not their issue. We are living in a time when newborns are coming out of the womb severely malnourished and starved. These are babies. They haven't even had a chance to live. Their lives are being stolen before them. Their first breath becomes their last. We are seeing an entire population being deliberately starved. 2.2 million people. Where is the outrage? Where is the anger? Where is the concern for humanity? Meanwhile, we continue to watch people ignorantly label us as terrorist supporters and Hamas propagators for simply uttering the words Free Palestine and daring to say enough is enough. As we continue to watch the horrific scenes pouring out of Gaza, Israel has dropped over 100,000 tons of bombs on Gaza. That's equivalent to almost 7 atomic bombs on Hiroshima. The scale of destruction is beyond comprehension. Entire families have been erased. No innocent life should be sacrificed in the name of war or dismissed as collateral damage. What we are witnessing is a real-time genocide. If this is not a genocide, then what is it? How do we describe what's happening in Gaza? A war makes no sense in this context. A war is when 2 armies with military capabilities fight one another. But what's happening in Gaza is not a war. It is a well-calculated massacre to ethnically cleanse an indigenous population from their land. People are being massacred, left, right, and center. Journalists are being charged to death for calling on the world to look at the truth. And Anas al-Sharif and his 5 colleagues were silenced for eternity for speaking the truth. Healthcare workers bombed, hospitals bombed, ambulances bombed, patients bombed. Is this what we call a war? What was their crime? Was it saving the lives of innocent civilians, treating 2-year-olds for 4th-degree burns, holding together organs of babies torn apart by shrapnel? This is not a war. This is a genocide. Did you know that in Ukraine, children account for 0.3% of casualties due to the war between Russia? However, in Gaza, almost 40% of casualties are children. This single statistic reveals the truth. Gaza is not a battlefield. It is a graveyard for children. And that is why we've gathered here today to say loudly that enough is enough. So many lives lost, so many futures stolen, and so many homes and dreams reduced to rubble. Today, we march in hope of a free Palestine, in hope of an end to the destruction and mayhem, in hope of an end to the blockade, the starvation, and the illegal occupation. We march along the strand today as proud Palestinians and humans who refuse to stay silent in the midst of a genocide. Because no one is free until Palestine is free. Thank you.
Thank you, Sadia. That was a very emotive talk, and I think it's exactly what we needed to get this march started. So, we're shortly going to take off. We're going to follow our marshals here behind the banner. Again, just please make sure that you're staying on the path. Do not walk on the grass. And making sure you're staying in lines of 4 people maximum. Making sure that there's space at the right side of you for ongoers to pass by in their wheelchairs, buggies, or just walking. So please ensure there is enough space. Please stay safe, stay sensible. If you have any questions, again, please just speak to somebody in a yellow high-vis vest. And also stay well hydrated. It's very hot, so let's just be aware of that. If you're feeling unwell, please speak to one of the yellow vest marshals. So, I think it's time that we start to come to the middle.